Marks a historic changing of the guard. Tomorrow at high noon, Mary Fallin will be sworn in as the first female governor for the state of Oklahoma. Tonight, she talks with 2 News anchor Wes McCaskey in this latest edition of To the Point.
We are with Governor-elect Mary Fallin. Thanks for talking with us today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be with you.
Monday's a big day coming up. How excited are you?
I'm real excited. Ready to go. We've been working very hard since election night. In fact, the very next day after the election, I was meeting with Governor Henry talking about the transitioning process, the transfer of power, how to be governor and all those different things, but we've been working very steadily since then.
Okay, obviously, people try to set goals for those first 100 days. What would you like to accomplish then?
Well, I have a lot of things that we need to accomplish first 100 days, the first legislative session. But, first of all, we have a budget shortfall that we're looking at for next year. So balancing the budget, setting our priorities for spending, making sure that we make government more efficient and effective. Don't raise taxes to fund the necessary governmental services. So the budget's going to be a core issue that I will be dealing with. And then I've talked a lot about how we got to make Oklahoma more business friendly. And I'm real excited to work on economic development issues. In fact, I just had a great meeting with a really good investment prospect for the state of Oklahoma. And I'm going to do everything that I can moving forward to work on keeping our taxes low, improving education, creating a better educated workforce, lowering workers' comp, lawsuit reform costs in the state of Oklahoma, to make Oklahoma the go-to place for jobs and investment.
Obviously, one of the biggest constraints is obviously the budget and the money situation. How hard is it going to be to accomplish the things you want to accomplish, being that there's not as much money as there used to be?
Well, it is going to be a challenge, but I see it more as an opportunity for us to relook at how we deliver governmental services in the state of Oklahoma, to ask specific questions. Is the mission still relevant? Is it cost efficient? Is it duplicative of any other services in the state? Is there any waste? Are there ways that we can bring in more efficiency through innovation, new technology, new processes? And so to get to that point, I have asked a lot of great Oklahomans throughout the state to be on transition teams with me. I have about 10 of them, focusing on different sectors of government and, frankly, even the economy. And we're going to look at how can we make Oklahoma government more efficient, more effective. How can we bring new innovation that's being used in the private sector into the public sector? And how can we even work with the public sector to make things work well?
Have there been many surprises since you've been elected, kind of what you thought it would be and then what it actually is?
Well, I don't think there's too many surprises in it. I think it's just a lot of great opportunities. Yeah. I will tell you, it's a lot of work, but, I campaigned on nobody work harder for Oklahoma, but nobody. So I'm all right. I'm ready to go with the hard work. I've tried to put into place the very best staff possible to surround myself with quality people that are outside the box thinkers, that are ready to move Oklahoma forward to a better place, a better time. And I've got almost all my cabinet secretaries selected already, which is kind of early in the process, but we worked really hard to find the very best and brightest people and to get those people ready to hit the ground running.
Obviously, education is a big issue, and I know that a lot of people in the Tulsa area are concerned about the lack of money and so forth. People just have to be more innovative, I guess, and really kind of stretch those dollars. What are you going to try to do as governor to make education better in Oklahoma?
Well, there's nothing more critical than building a quality educated workforce in the state of Oklahoma so we can attract those jobs and, frankly, even retain the jobs and give our children the future that they need and our employers the workforce that they demand. I actually have an education transition committee. I've appointed a new secretary of education that is highly skilled, highly qualified. Superintendent-elect Janet Barisi is a quality superintendent. We're working very closely together, all three of us, to do everything we can to keep Oklahoma moving forward, to improve academic standards, to set goals, to hold people accountable, to make sure, once again, we're spending that money efficiently.
If you had to pick 3 goals for the first year, what would they be? What would you go after that you really want to get done?
Well, my top goals are, number one, balancing the budget without raising taxes and right-sizing government itself. Secondly, making Oklahoma as business-friendly as possible and building that better business climate. And thirdly, is working on education and the workforce itself.
Monday, once you get sworn in, what's the first thing that you do?
Well, actually, the very first thing I'm going to do, and I'll do it at the actual inauguration swearing-in ceremony itself, is I'm going to pay tribute as my first official act as governor to recognize the men and women who serve in our military that fight for our freedoms and sacrifice so much with their families. We're going to do that during the inaugural ceremonies. It's going to be a very special tribute. I have General Tommy Franks, who of course was in Afghanistan and Iraq, and he's going to speak. And then we have a very special musical tribute to our troops that I think everybody will be wonderfully surprised and should be a very moving moment.
It's going to be a big day. Good luck to you.